Hello, and welcome to the Practical World podcast. This is your guide to actionable insights and strategies for employees and salarymen. In each episode, we cover a variety of topics, from productivity hacks and financial tips to work-life balance and personal growth. Our mission is to equip you with practical tools to enhance your professional journey. Let's dive in and discover the benefits waiting for you in the practical world. This is the real world. This is the Practical World podcast.
Hey everyone, and welcome back. Today we're going to be tackling something, a topic that I think is super relevant to anyone who's ever worked in a traditional office setting, and I think that's a lot of us. So we're going to be talking about gaslighting.
Oh, yeah.
Have you ever felt just confused or undermined at work?
Totally.
Just your feelings were being dismissed, you didn't really know what was going on.
Yeah.
That's kind of the territory that we're going to be exploring today.
It's so interesting you bring up the workplace because that's where gaslighting can be particularly insidious.
Yeah.
It flies under the radar.
Totally.
It's disguised as a demanding boss or a competitive colleague or whatever.
For sure. So let's just get right into it. What is gaslighting?
Yeah.
Our sources define it as a form of manipulation where someone tries to control you by making you doubt your own sanity.
Yeah. The goal is to distort your reality, to make you question your own thoughts and your feelings and even your memories. And it's so effective because it preys on our desire to trust the people around us,
right.
Especially in a professional setting where we're supposed to be a team.
Right.
We're all working together.
Working towards the same goal.
Exactly.
So, the term itself comes from the play Gaslight.
Right.
I don't know if you've ever seen it, but a husband is manipulating the gaslights in the house.
Oh, wow.
And then he convinces his wife that she's imagining the flickering.
Oh, that's so creepy.
I know. It's such a powerful example, I think, of the insidious nature of this type of manipulation.
It's not always loud or aggressive or in your face.
Yeah.
But it can be so damaging over time.
Totally.
Yeah.
So let's get into the nitty gritty of how gaslighting actually plays out in the workplace.
Okay.
What are some tactics that our listeners should be aware of?
Yeah.
Our sources highlight 4 key tactics to watch out for.
Okay.
The first one is denying reality.
Okay.
So imagine you've just presented this brilliant idea in a meeting, and a gaslighting colleague might take credit for it, right in front of you.
Oh my God.
And then later they deny that ever happened.
Whoa.
Even if there were witnesses present.
That's awful.
I know.
I can feel the frustration building already just thinking about that.
It's a blatant attempt to undermine your contributions.
Totally.
Make you question your own memory.
Make you feel crazy.
Yes, exactly.
So the next one is deflecting blame.
Okay.
So let's say you miss a deadline because of a mistake made by one of your colleagues.
Uh-huh.
A gaslighter will twist the narrative and make you feel responsible for their slip up, even though you had absolutely nothing to do with it.
Ugh. That's so manipulative.
It is.
It's they're projecting their own shortcomings onto you.
Exactly.
So that they don't have to take responsibility for their actions.
And it can really chip away at your confidence, especially if you're new to a company.
Oh, for sure.
Or in a junior role.
Yeah, if you're already feeling a little bit insecure.
Yeah.
Okay, so then another tactic is attacking and diverting.
Okay.
So let's say you try to raise a concern about a project, and the gaslighter just immediately launches into a personal attack.
Oh my gosh.
About your competence or your work ethic.
Oh, wow.
Completely derailing the conversation.
That's a classic diversion tactic designed to shut down the conversation.
Yes.
And make you question your own validity.
Why did I even bring this up?
Exactly.
Yeah. And then the last one our sources talk about is devaluing your feelings.
Oh, yeah.
This one can be really insidious because it often comes disguised as advice.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
So, you're expressing stress about a heavy workload, and the gaslighter might say something like, oh, you just need to toughen up, or
right.
Everyone feels that way, you're overreacting.
Right. Those seemingly harmless phrases are actually designed to invalidate your emotions.
Wow.
And make you feel like your concerns are not legitimate.
It's they're minimizing your experience.
Exactly. And over time, this can really erode your self-esteem and make you doubt your own judgment.
It's a slow poison.
It is.
Seeping into your confidence, especially in a high-pressure work environment.
Exactly. And the impact can be significant.
Yeah.
So before we get into like how to combat these tactics,
Yeah.
let's talk about the potential consequences of gaslighting in the workplace.
Okay.
What does this actually look like?
Yeah. How does it actually affect us?
Yeah, like in real life.
Yeah.
Let's get into it.
Let's do it.
Okay, so we've talked about how gaslighting can be so damaging, right? But how does it actually manifest in a professional setting?
Yeah. I mean, what does this actually look like?
So imagine you're like consistently hitting your targets,
Okay.
crushing it at work,
Yeah.
but your boss keeps moving the goalposts, never acknowledges your accomplishments, and always demands more. This constant undermining can leave you feeling perpetually inadequate, no matter how hard you try.
That's a really good example of how gaslighting can erode confidence and create a sense of self-doubt,
Yeah.
especially over time.
Exactly. And it's like you're stuck in this never-ending cycle of trying to prove your worth,
Oh, yeah.
but the validation never comes.
And that's the whole point,
Yeah.
keep you down.
Exactly. Gaslighting thrives on keeping the victim off balance and questioning their own abilities.
Right.
Another scenario that you might encounter is a colleague who constantly spreads rumors or gossip about you behind your back,
Ugh,
but then acts charming and friendly to your face.
the worst.
This kind of two-faced behavior can leave you feeling isolated and paranoid, unsure who to trust.
Oh, for sure. Like, wait, it's like they're playing both sides. It's
Exactly.
like a psychological game of smoke and mirrors,
Yeah.
making you question your own perception
Totally.
and your own sanity.
Yeah.
Start to wonder, like, am I imagining things? Is everyone against me?
That feeling of isolation is a common consequence of gaslighting.
Yeah.
The manipulator wants to isolate you from your support system, making you more dependent on them for validation.
Oh, wow. That's so
This
interesting.
is a classic power play.
Yeah, they want to be the one that you look to
Totally.
for affirmation.
Exactly.
Okay, so this all sounds incredibly demoralizing,
Yeah,
but I imagine it can also affect your actual work performance, right?
absolutely.
Yeah.
Our sources suggest that gaslighting can lead to decreased productivity, difficulty concentrating,
Yeah.
and even burnout.
That makes sense.
Yeah, because when you're constantly second-guessing yourself and your abilities,
Yeah.
it's hard to focus on the task at hand.
Right. Like you're using all of your mental energy just to try to stay afloat.
Exactly.
And the stress and anxiety that comes with this kind of manipulation
Right.
can be incredibly draining, both mentally and physically.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. So the question then becomes, how do we fight back?
Okay.
How do we protect ourselves from this insidious form of manipulation in the workplace?
Yeah, it's a great question.
What do we do?
Our sources provide some valuable strategies. The first is to trust your gut.
That seems simple enough.
Yeah.
But I imagine it could be really hard when you're constantly being told that your feelings are wrong or invalid.
You're so right. It takes conscious effort to validate your own experiences and feelings.
Mhm.
If something feels off, don't dismiss it.
Okay.
Pay attention to those red flags, those moments where you feel a knot in your stomach or a sense of unease.
So it's about tuning into your intuition
Yeah,
and acknowledging that your feelings are valid,
totally.
regardless of what the gaslighter's trying to make you believe.
Exactly.
What else can we do to protect ourselves?
Documentation is key, especially in a work setting.
Okay.
Keep a detailed record of incidents,
Oh, yeah.
including dates, times, specific conversations,
Wow.
and any witnesses present.
That's so smart.
This creates a paper trail that can be invaluable if you need to report the behavior to HR or a higher authority.
Oh, that's such a good tip.
Right.
Like creating a tangible record of the gaslighter's actions
Like,
to counter their
Yeah.
attempts to rewrite history or deny what happened. What about seeking support from others? Is that helpful?
absolutely.
Yeah.
Confiding in a trusted friend, family member, or therapist can provide much needed perspective and validation.
Right.
Talking about your experiences can help you process what's happening and realize that you're not alone.
Mhm.
It can also help you see the situation more clearly and develop strategies for coping.
It's like having a sounding board
Exactly.
to reality check the gaslighter's manipulations and
Totally.
reaffirm your own sanity.
Yes, and sometimes just having someone listen and believe you can make all the difference in the world.
Oh, for sure.
Really?
So we've got trusting our gut, documenting incidents, and seeking support. What other strategies can help us navigate these tricky waters?
Setting boundaries is crucial.
Okay.
This means clearly defining what behavior you will and will not tolerate.
Yeah.
It could involve limiting contact with the gaslighter,
Okay.
refusing to engage in circular arguments,
Right.
or learning to say no assertively.
That sounds really empowering.
It is.
But I imagine it can be tough to stand up for yourself when you're already feeling undermined and insecure.
You're so right. It takes practice and courage.
Yeah.
But remember, you deserve to be treated with respect.
Mm-hmm.
You have the right to set boundaries and protect your emotional well-being.
So it's about reclaiming your power and agency in the situation,
Exactly.
even if it feels uncomfortable at first.
Totally.
Are there any other resources or strategies that you would recommend?
One thing our sources emphasized is the importance of seeking professional help if the gaslighting is causing significant distress or impacting your mental health.
Okay.
A therapist can provide guidance tools for healing and support as you navigate this challenging situation.
It's like having an expert guide to help you untangle the emotional knots
Totally.
and rebuild your self-esteem.
Exactly. And remember, therapy is not a sign of weakness. It's a sign of strength.
Yeah.
And a commitment to your well-being.
This has been so insightful. It's like we've given our listeners a roadmap for navigating the treacherous terrain of workplace gaslighting.
Yes.
From recognizing the red flags to developing strategies for protection and empowerment.
And we've highlighted the importance of self-care and seeking support both from personal networks and professional resources.
So before we wrap up this deep dive,
Yeah.
let's bring it all together.
Mm.
What are the key takeaways our listeners should remember? What's the most important message we want to leave them with? You know, if there's one thing I want our listeners to take away from this, it's that you're not alone in this.
Yeah.
Gaslighting is a far more common experience
Totally.
than a lot of people realize, I think,
Especially in the workplace.
especially in the workplace.
Yeah.
And you know, you have the power to
Yeah.
reclaim your reality
Absolutely.
and protect yourself
Totally.
from this insidious form of manipulation.
It's all about like taking back control.
Yeah, taking back control.
Yeah.
We've explored the tactics that gaslighters use and the impact,
Yeah.
that it can have on our confidence and well-being.
Totally.
And most importantly,
Yeah.
the strategies we can use to fight back.
Yeah. And we talked about
Yeah.
trusting your gut, documenting incidents, seeking support from trusted friends or professionals,
Yeah.
and setting clear boundaries.
Boundaries are huge.
So important.
So important.
Yeah.
And, knowledge is power.
Absolutely.
The more you understand about gaslighting,
Mm-hmm.
the better equipped you'll be to recognize it,
Totally.
address it,
Yeah.
and break free from its grip.
One of our sources said it beautifully.
Oh, yeah?
They said, you have value, your feelings matter, and you don't have to accept manipulation that diminishes your self-worth.
That's powerful.
Yeah, it really is.
So as we wrap up this deep dive,
Okay.
I want to leave our listeners with a thought-provoking question.
Okay, I like it.
Now that you're armed with this knowledge,
Mm-hmm.
how might you identify and address situations like this in your own life?
That's such a good question. It's something to really think about.
Yeah.
Reflect on your own experiences. Pay attention to those red flags.
Yeah.
Trust your intuition.
Yeah.
You have the power
Yes.
to create a healthier, more empowered work environment for yourself
Yes.
and for those around you.
That's it for our deep dive into gaslighting.
Awesome.
Until next time, stay curious, stay informed, and most importantly,
Yes.
stay true to yourself.
Thank you for joining. This is the Practical World Podcast.